right, guys. Welcome to Achilles Safe Haven. We have the team from the Bot Detector Bot, Coin, and Telegram bot here. Just a quick reminder, nothing you hear on this recording is financial advice. Crypto is an inherently risky market, and you are always risking 100% of your initial investment. This is not an endorsement nor financial advice. All right, so we have Mercutio joining us today to ask some questions for the Haven. We, of course, have the wonderful Dumbledore and myself, as always. But before we get to the primary part of the AMA, I have one question. So your primary utility on this project is a bot that detects multi-bot buys on a coin and shows us the percentage of supply held by multi-bots. How did you guys achieve that, and how do you determine what a multi-bot is with your Telegram bot?
Hi, so I CC here. So I'm helping with the development of the Bot Detector Bot, working on the back end there as well. So one of the main factors that we're looking at is like getting buys on the same block. Um, we don't say that 100% accurately. Um, we can say that those buys are like from multi-bots, but to some point, we can't consider those buys are to be like human made. It's one of the main factors that we're looking at, especially when you see those buys coming in from launches. Like you'll see them coming from the same blocks. That would be a huge factor for our scanning. Other from that, we are constantly upgrading and putting some more parameters to our bot, so we ensure that we're not giving false information to people. So yeah, I can say that for now, the tool is a big helper, or we can say as a guide for people who are constantly using it. And we're not claiming that we're giving you like 100% because there's no really way to 100%ly and accurately give the bots give the buys like title as multi-wallet bot, but to at some point we're getting there, and we're giving at least a decent amount and good amount of results to the people.
Okay, so just to follow up real fast. So I thought that the most valuable part of this, like as a developer, would be that I could scan for multi-bot purchases. I could pull those wallet addresses, and I could blacklist if needed, right?
But no, that's something we're thinking about the future. That's not right now. That will be coming in the future. Right now, it is a tool for any user like you or me that's going to go and buy a coin to scan it with the coin with our tool and see. Hang on, well, there's bots are holding 30% of the supply. It's not safe. I'm not touching it. And I can tell you right now, we have been right nearly every single time. The bot is always right.
Okay, so I mean, have you guys tested this yourselves as far as like, I mean, I don't own a multi-wallet bot, but maybe taking one and doing a test deploy and seeing if you can ascertain between that and your own purchases?
Well, what I do have is a lot of the users, and you know who's good at that is Nicholas and another user. I'll bring them over and drop them into the chat, or drop them to you so you can drop in the chat, where they've actually done a test where they've scanned a coin, and at the beginning it shows that it's risky to buy, and then it shows the percentage of wallets. And then when you see that big dump, they'll scan it again, and you'll see the percentage go down. So it is working.
Yeah. Actually, while developing, we're testing a lot of test cases for like tokens. So we're making sure that we're getting like close to accurate. We did some tests to like previous tokens who did got multi-wallet at launch, then dump at a certain time. So yeah, I think we're trying to give people as much guide as possible.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, then I'm going to pass this on to Mercutio. He's prepared some questions for you guys. Mercutio, take it away.
All right, man. Thank you, sir. All right, man. So let's start off with this, man. Can you guys give me something about your background and how you guys met?
Okay, I've met CC through King Dog. became really good friends with King Dog, and then we just met, and all three of us are really good friends. Jake, I've known for a very long time in this space, and we were actually talking about probably about maybe it was about a few weeks ago, and I said, Jake, we haven't launched for a while. Let's do a launch, a really good one, but let's do a utility. And Jake just turned around and said, yeah, let's just do a bot detector bot, just like that, like he'd already had it in his head. And I went, well, what's that? I go, what's that? And he goes, well, we're getting fucked, excuse my language, but we're always getting screwed, with bots, bots at launches, and we're losing our money. So let's see if we can make a detector that will detect how many of those are in the project when you start. And so I spoke to because I know he's brilliant. CC is brilliant. He also is really good friends with HP. They're really close. So I thought, can you guys do it? And they went, yeah, we can. And they've produced something that I'm extremely happy with. And like I said, right now it's in the beginning stages. We're adding as we go. The community is asking us what they want extra, and that's getting added. But I can tell you the bot's been right most of the time. It really has.
Got you. Do you guys have any prior projects that have been successful?
Yeah, we do. Jake and I did, and Grapico, CC did Habibi, which I don't know if you guys know, but that was kind of our first project together. That was the first project with me as a dev, and we literally got to, I think, 40K, which is not bad for a first project. Second one was FN Mecca, which was that rapper, is an artificial intelligent rapper, and we got to 38K there or 40K there, and this is pretty much our third one. But we're getting better on every one. We're learning our mistakes, we're getting better at everything. I'll be honest with you, I'm over any coin that doesn't have a utility. Like I invested in another utility coin today and I'm happy. There's always money in utilities, there's something there. But what are these other coins, like meme coins? I mean, what do they really do? Nothing. Let's be honest. I'm not going to say, we all do it, but we wanted to produce something for the community, something with a utility, something that you can actually use that would be valuable.
Makes sense, man. Yeah, dude, I totally agree with you, dude. If you really want to stick around for the duration and make it to the next bull run, you can't just create any old project, man. You have to have something that will be useful.
We're advancing this in so many ways. I mean, we've been talking about different tiers. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Rick. Yeah, what I was saying is that, you guys are really doing the right thing. And I think that what you're doing is really smart. You have to create something that's not only useful, but also needed in the space, man. So speaking of utility, I'll come back to some of the team questions, but speaking of the utility, so could you explain to us what exactly does the bot detector do?
Cece, you want to explain or you want me to do that?
Yeah, you can. Can you give me like an introduction to that?
Okay, what it does is, oh, I'm sorry, Cece, are you going to say it or me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so all it basically does is it scans a token, sees roughly what the changes are of the bots, counts their percentages, and gives it to you on a bot, basically. So you can have a look at it and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to go into this project because it's too risky for me. And like I said, it's been right a lot of times.
Got you, man. And could you explain to us, because so it's a multi-bot detector, but a lot of people, may be new and not as experienced in the space. So could you explain to people what is a multi-wallet and why do investors need to know what that is?
Okay, multi-wallet bot. Sorry?
No, I was asking what a multi-wallet
okay, yeah, I got it.
Important for investors to know what it is.
Okay, multi-wallet bot is let's go back a step. We've got bots and we've got multi-wallet bots. Basically, it's like it's a program that buys the bot, buys for you before a bot that buys for you. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback, that's all. A bot that buys for you.
If we're getting feedback, guys, please make sure that if you're not speaking, put yourself on mute. I just muted someone on here. If you need to speak again, just raise your hand.
Thank you. So yeah, basically a bot that buys quicker than any human. Now I got no problem with one bot, but when somebody's buying 16 wallets at the same time for dirt cheap, and they're getting it down the bottom for $2, $3, $10, $20 each, and then dumping all of that at once, when you see that big red candle coming down, it's going to be a multi-wallet bot. When they're dumping that all at once, ruining your project, that's kind of horrible for all of us, isn't it? When we're watching the chart, we're going, "Oh no," you know what I mean? So basically, multi-wallet bot is a bot that just buys multiple wallets at a time, and if the person wants, he's going to dump it all at once as well. So you can have 10 wallets dumping at once.
Understood, man. And what type of investor would need this the most?
I guess all of us, right? I mean, especially shitcoin investors, right? Let's be honest. I mean, all of the investors that we're using it every day. I mean, I scan it religiously every token that I buy, but sometimes I don't listen to it because I FOMO and I usually regret it. And sometimes I've looked at it and gone, I should have bought still. And also, it's also not the multi-wallet buy that's the issue, even though it is. It's the fact of how they sell too. You know what I mean? That's what's killing the projects the most. If they was to sell one by one, it wouldn't be as bad as selling the whole lot in one hit. You know. But like I said, I don't care if there's someone buys with one bot or two bots. That's not going to really hurt anyone. But when you're buying multiple at a time, it really does hurt the project, doesn't it? It really does.
Yeah, you're right, man. It really does hurt the project. And we see that when a lot of projects launch off first, man. So I think that what you're doing could bring a lot of benefit to the space, man. And because it's bringing a whole lot of benefit to the space, I've seen a project called the Jeep Detector, man. So with what you guys are doing, as it gets bigger and bigger, I'm expecting for people to try to rip off and copy or even innovate on what you're doing. So it's important to have foresight of what other people may try to come out with, because right now we are in a bear market, but we're going to be
We are.
going into a bull market. And in between that time, a lot of projects are getting washed out. And what you want to make sure of is that your project is not getting beat by someone who did what you did better. So what would you say your competitive advantage is over projects that would want to compete with you? What are you guys doing that is unique and hard to replicate?
Well, Sissy, can you answer that, please?
Yeah, surely. So I can say that first and most of all, we have a dedicated team who are working on this like nonstop, continuously. Um, I don't know about the team, and I can't say anything about it, but obviously some of the guys that would like to rip off might not have like the urge to do this because we are working not just for ourselves, but we want to make like the space a more clean and help more people. So I think that drives us to push and make and update the bot constantly. Plus, I think we're giving people like we're listening to the community on actually what they want and what they need because obviously we're making this for them. So I think that would be like our main point is that we have a community backing us up. We have a lot of people using the bot and giving us constant feedback. I think that would help us give advantage compared to the other people who would just like rip off the bot, you know.
All right, understood. And something like this. So people who are investing their money, people experience a lot of anxiety when they're trading or when they're sending money back and forth between wallets, and there's a lot of scams in the space and whatnot, and people are really iffy and finicky about their money, so there's some nervousness added with it. So, for people to start using this service, how can we ensure that it is safe and that people won't be susceptible to attacks, or maybe some third party won't hack the detector and then drain people's wallets or something wild like that? So the overall question is, how can investors ensure that this is safe and they can use it without the threat of something happening to their wallets?
Okay, so we won't have any we won't have any applications that would require people to let's say put their private keys in. All of their access is on their side, like the client side. So we're ensuring that we're not getting any sensitive information from them. On the future, if we release the premium one, we'll probably get like their Telegram username, but that's it. We're not getting any more other than that. Some of the bots on this space I've seen require private keys, which doesn't look good, especially for new investors, as they might casually put a lot amount of tokens on that wallet and potentially got hacked by the developer or something. So we're making sure that we're not uh, making that option for those people, especially for the new investors. They're safe. They have full access to their wallets. They have full access to their tokens. I think, yeah, that's it.
All right, all right. And how does this bot financially tie to the coin itself?
You're going to have to hold a certain amount of coins. Minimum will be 0.1%, and it'll go up as the different tiers go up to actually be able to use it. And I did speak to the team. I don't know how, that the team did say to me, I said, well, I asked them the same question. What is so good about ours that no one else can copy us? And they said, we're just going to keep working and striving to make it better than anyone else's, That's basically what TC was trying to tell you. I mean, anyone can copy anybody, and, somebody obviously probably already trying to copy us. I'm sure they are. But we're working so hard to make it perfect for the people that are using it.
Got you, man. And speaking of the people using it, let's slide over and start asking some community questions. So the first thing I wanted to ask is, how are you guys going to keep your community engaged throughout these terrible times, outside of creating more utilities and more functionality? How would you guys keep the community that you already have engaged? Because the Fed's going to hike up interest, the thing about 125 points. So that will probably not. It will negatively affect the market. And I'm anticipating, and if it doesn't, that's cool. But I'm anticipating that things get worse. And as things get worse, people flood out of the markets. And this is where, like I always call it, a washout phase. So one thing I would want to know is, how are you going to keep your community engaged and still excited about your product?
Well, first of all, we're giving them the products, right? And then we're making changes every time, like continually updating. Secondly, we do also have a private room that they can all use that they're all going in there and shilling other projects, which we have no problem with. So they're always there. But also you're going to have to hold tokens to be using that later on. So what they do is they go in there, they scan their tokens, they talk about their tokens. The only rule is if they're in that TG, which is the scanner TG, they have to scan the token first before they talk about it. That's the only rule in there. So we're just trying different things. We're doing competitions all the time. We've got a lot of Twitter raids, and they're really working well. And we're giving people prizes for the most raids. The most raids that follow the raider get prizes. So while keeping the community engaged with giving them a little bit extra money here and there, and all these competitions, we're also helping them. We're also helping them to help us to grow the coin.
Got you, man. Got you. Good answer, dude. I think it's very important, and in some projects I'll see that they frequently hold up VCs, like I know there's another project who every night, 11 p.m., they'd have a VC, and they'd always be talking with their community. And
I'm sorry. I keep doing that to you. Keep going. I'm sorry.
So pretty much one thing that is a big impact on a project is the communication within the community, man. So, that's why I was asking you that, because outside of the team, the community is everything, man. Those are your investors, those people who are going to push the project out for you, because you yourself can't do it all, So what were you going to say?
I was going to say that the only time we do open VC, but you're right, we should open it more, is when Beast brings me and says, hey, let's go open VC. So we all go and open VC, But you're right, that's another good option, that maybe every night we can open VC for a few hours to give everybody a chance to have updates. I might start doing that from today. We'll give everyone a chance we'll give them updates. We'll let the community give input. You know, instead of having to write everything. Yeah, we might do. We'll start doing that. We'll do it. We'll do a VC every night at a certain time. I like that idea. I love that idea.
Yeah, man, it served some projects good. What it does is, and I'm serious, I know a project that's had like 200K retweets because what you're doing when you're having those nightly VCs or whenever you do it, you are building close connections to the people that you are with. And it goes from not only them liking your project, but now they are fighting, they want to help you. So that's why, it's a really good idea. It's a big deal. But another thing is, how do you plan to market this in a way that would allow your project to not only remain relevant, but also continue to gain holders and followers throughout the duration of this bear market?
Well, always the call channels, you know that. Like we're constantly getting calls, but I think we've also moved along to. We've got some really good Twitter raters, and they have just got us diamond holders. You can see our charts held the way it is. But we've got literally 20. They literally one shills for 10 hours with a team of our people, a team of our members, and then the members get the prize, and then they take about a 2-hour break, and then the other one comes on as well. They're continuously going all the time. So that's really, I mean, I was talking to Achilles about that earlier, and I think I was talking to somebody else about that. The Twitter raters are amazing. They get us strong holders that just hold and they accumulate. And it also keeps the community engaged because they're all getting prizes and stuff, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I also told you that I would go back to ask some team questions. And one thing I wanted to ask is the team in-house or is it sourced?
Oh, it's all in-house.
Okay. And how many team members are there?
Active team members, 4 of us.
Okay. All right. So name us one area that your team needs to improve in, and how would you guys improve in that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm being so busy. I haven't been in the TG much. I know that people like to see the dev there. Our hours are all over the place. You know, we all haven't been sleeping because it's the first week. So I think we all need to engage with the community more. And I think that what you said earlier about opening BC every night is going to be a big help on that. And that's something that was really important. I think we all need to engage with the community.
Yeah, I think one of a good adjustment for the team as well is like time management, because we're on like a very huge different time zones. So yeah, I think we'll improve on that as well.
Understood. Got you. So how does the team? Well, let me start by saying this. A lot of people don't think of it this way, but when you create a crypto project, it is a startup company, and a lot of people don't recognize that most startups, the reason that they fail, it revolves around finances, and then it revolves around team member conflict, So the next question I would like to ask you is, how does your team handle conflict? Like what system do you got? Like I've partnered with somebody in the past and we had a system of how we would handle conflicts. So I'm just asking this just for transparency's sake, just so the safe haven can see that this is a team that I can trust in, that when things are going wrong and hard, I can trust they're going to work through it. So how does your team handle conflict?
Well, I was annoyed with Jake the other day for something, which was I wasn't in the wrong. It was just there was a miscommunication. But instead of us fighting like little kids about it, I said, "Hey, can we talk about something?" And we just spoke about it. He goes, "No, that's not what I meant." And then the whole thing was fine. So basically, we just talk about it. Cece and I will never fight. We just don't fight. He's not the type of person that will conflict with anybody, and neither is HP. So besides that, just Jake and I, we just communicate. That's all. And that's the best way.
100%.
And plus, we're extremely close, all of us. We're extremely close. It doesn't, I see money getting in the way a lot in this space. Money's money, let's be honest. But we seem to not care as much when it comes between us, I think we're all concerned more about having a successful project here and getting a good name for ourselves than we are about the money. I've put in 3 beans today of my own, and I've cashed another 2 beans ready to go in there today. That's 5 beans today alone. That's my money. And I don't care about it. I want this project. All of us believe in this project, the team, and we're prepared to make it work at whatever it takes.
Understood, man. Understood. And outside of conflict, whenever there is a hard decision that you guys want to make, how do you guys figure out what decision you'll make? What's your decision-making process?
Again, we just talk about it and take a vote.
It's a voting for us when
Yeah, like we just
All right, sounds good, man. And do you guys plan on expanding your team?
We don't need to right now, but I would like to if we need. Like, okay, I've been offered a couple of partnerships with a couple of projects that do similar things at us. That might work, maybe partnerships. But expanding the team, I mean, no, I don't think we need to. I mean, we'll see. Not the core team. Of course, the team itself will have more raiders. We'll have more chillers. We'll have more mods and people doing logos and stuff for us, all that kind of stuff. But the core team, I think the 4 of us will be the 4 of us. Well, it's kind of 5 or 6 of us, really. So it will be all of us.
Understood, man. Great. And just one last question right here before we throw it over to the community. There are 3 things that I've noticed that are responsible for a team's success, and that is hype. That means how many people recognize your product, how many eyes is it in front of. There's the community. So it's how strong is your community? How hard are they fighting? How engaged are they? How engaged are y'all with them? How engaged are they with each other? And then there's the strength of the team. What would you guys say is your biggest strong point between those 3?
I'm sorry, I need to hear that one more time.
Okay. So there are 3 things that make up a successful product. It's the hype, the community, and the team. So the hype is how well are you all known? The community is how strong are your investor group? Are they pushing the project out? Are they excited about it? Are they buying it up? And then there's the team in the background working hard and whatnot. So what would you say?
I'm sorry.
What would you say?
Go backward. I'm sorry again.
What would you say is your strongest point between those 3?
Well, the team in the background is always working great. Our communication with even though our communication with our members, our community is amazing. They love the product. They absolutely love the product. Like I said, I'd like to get in VC with them more, and like we can all talk and hang out and stuff. That might be a little bit better to do. But besides that, our community is pretty strong, and they really, really, they literally are always in the chat, always talking about how good the product is and how lucky they are to be there and how happy they are that we actually made the product. So that's kind of my answer.
All right, sir. Good. Very good, man. So if it's okay with you, if you don't have anything to say, we can go ahead and flip it over to the community for some questions.
Sure.
All right. Achilles, I don't know how you run it. You have everybody unmuted, so you just
got you, my man. Okay, if you are not unmuted and you would like to ask a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Everyone but Caesar. Caesar's not allowed to ask a question. Hi, Logan. If you don't ask in VC, you guys are more than welcome to type it in the most recent comment section, and I will give you guys a readout. So the first one that I'm going to go to, unless we have someone directly in VC that wants to ask right now, is from Vlad.
Wait one moment. Before we get Vlad, I have one more question that I need to be asked.
Please go ahead.
Could you guys tell us about your plan for international reach, if you have a plan for international reach?
Oh, by the way, yes. We want to make a Chinese version. That's 100%. And we are also expanding to an ETH version of our product as well. Right now it just does BSC, but we will be going to ETH version a little bit later in the near future. Like they're already working on it. So I forgot to mention that. So yeah, different languages and also ETH version.
All right, but are you guys going to be like marketing out into the world, or is it just going to be focused in the US, UK?
Oh no, we already did like shallow advertise call for us. I have offered him, asked him for a partnership later on in the future. I don't know what he'll say, but we definitely want other markets as well. I've been asked to do a Turkish market, but we haven't done anything with that yet. But yeah, we are going to put more. Look, as the coin grows, the markets will grow, basically.
All right, man. We can go back on to our community questions. So whoever was up to ask the question, go ahead, brother. You're open.
We got anybody in VC that wants to ask? If not, I'm going to ask the last question right now.
Yo, what's up?
Shimba and Vlad, two of my favorite people. All right, just because Shimba spoke first, we'll do Shimba, then Vlad, you are up, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I'm kind of a bit like not really focused on much because I'm doing something, but I didn't hear it properly. So I love your utilities that you have, which is the bot, right? So how can it directly like increases or affects the value of the token itself? Because there are some tokens that are directly connected with the token, wherein like they need to buy something in order for them to use the utilities, something like
That's
that. Well, yep.
That's
So
exactly
how
where
can
we're at.
Mhm.
That's where we're at. You have to own at least 0.1% of the token to be able to use it.
Okay. Well,
Not right now. Right now, we left it out. We let it out. Let everybody use it, so everybody sees what it's like. But we're actually pretty much any day now we'll be implementing where you can only use it if you own 0.1% of the supply.
That's great. Well, that's what I want to hear. So yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, but what we did was we just let it out to everybody right now. We just thought, you know what, we'll just let it out to everybody, let everybody use it, and then just lock it and then just make it users only. Because everybody's using it, everybody loves it. I've not had, I mean, a couple of people have said things about it, but whatever, it's always the case. But our main, what we're getting from people is pretty good.
Yep. Well, actually, like doing something free right now is really good, and also to gain more exposure before, actually having like the one that you're saying, which is 1% or something. And yeah, I appreciate you a lot, man. Got you on that one.
Man, okay, we're going to move over to. I hope that everything was answered. Vlad, now it is your turn, my brother. Go ahead.
Hello. I have a question. If it will be possible to add live update for bot, for example, I put the token and pin it, and I see the live, how it's going on with the multi-wallets, if they gone or they added more, because in order to check it, we need to write the slash and then check all the time. It's annoying. You just need to see live, like pin it maybe, something.
Again, like that's a very, very good, very good input. So I'll take it to the team and see what they say. But that's something that I don't know if it's possible. So I'm not like, hey Zizi, can you say if that's possible?
Yeah, so I think in the future we could add that like a monitoring system where you just monitor a single token and wait for like the multi bots to get out and wait for your entry. That is a very good idea, Vlad.
I love it.
And then you can add the bot function in there also, just to buy straight away with multi-wallets.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Yeah, we're avoiding to get like private information from the user, and we're fighting bots, and we don't like to be the bot itself.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, thank you for answer. Hopefully it will be added soon. The next update maybe.
Yeah, we'll focus on implementing the premium one first. Then after that, we'll do some more upgrades, improving the consistency of the bot, performance and stuff. We'll surely drop some updates and message to the group, so make sure you join our main group.
Okay, thank you for answer.
Hey Vlad, can you DM me? I want to talk with you.
Vlad, he wants to slide in your DMs. Bullish. All right.
Oh, sorry, what do you say? Sorry, again?
Can you DM me?
Let me check if I not blacklist or
yeah,
not in jail.
yeah. Yeah, I'm in jail since I posted the bot results on the one project who was like going straight way down.
Yeah,
It was
I
like
found it. Yeah.
30% of multi-wallets. And
Uh,
I posted, guys, be care, and they just like, I don't know, they have connections. I got straight jailed. So,
mm-hmm. Okay, I DM you. I found you. Okay, thank you.
okay.
Okay. Who else has a question on this VC? Y'all want me to jump into the text section? You're gonna make me do it? Let's see. All right. Rival, I forgot to mute myself. What was I doing? Let's see. Okay. Johnny Jumper was answered Bobbyman. I love you, Johnny Jumper. That's awesome. Let's see if we have any other unanswered questions. Okay, Lightning. Yeah, I love this one. I love this question. All right, Lightning. So the question that Lightning asked, one of my favorite members of the Achilles Army here, is if you manage to get a near perfect success rate, would you consider developing a smart contract function that detects multi-wallets and blocks their transaction? And as I mentioned at the beginning of this AMA, that's what I see like the true utility here is for developers, right? So as opposed to us spending 9 hours when we deploy, either removing liquidity or putting it back in, or making sure that we list 90 people, or like that would be a huge time saver. Do you guys have any plans for that?
Yeah, so to be honest, there's no like 100% security for like get detecting like a bot, because they always improve. Like how we do develop and improve, those bot developers, they always find something new. So it's a battle between like anti-bots and bots, it will be hard to like find like the perfect exact thing that they will do, because next time that they notice that you did something on like Lieutenant said, like a function of the smart contract to block them, they'll surely find another way to bypass it. So I think the tool would be just like a continuous helper or a guide for people, so they know, if as much as possible, they'll know how many bots are in, or multi-wallet bots are in on a token. But on the smart contract side, there's a lot of like some functions already that developers have been using, known developers have been using. And yeah, I think still bots can really bypass that, so I think it would be hard, but that's my answer.
I hope that answered it. That was all right. I mean, I would suggest as much as you guys can to put that into an easy, usable utility for a developer. I think that's a huge amount of value on that project. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Lightning asked, we had one above that. It is, nope, that's about my YouTube. Let's see what the new ones say. Oh. Okay.
I think there's one also in the recent policy list.
In the most recent one, I'll do that. Yeah, King Soul,
there's
forgive me, man. I'm going to skip yours just because they already touched on cross chain pretty well. Thank you so much. So let me look at the new one here. Let's see.
No, I think it's just the same. It's the same King Saul too, because I've seen
King
that.
Saul. Oh, all right. Well, okay. I guess since he's asking, we'll ask it again. Your main aim is to protect investors from new projects that could be rugs. I don't like that verbiage. It's a dump. It's somebody outside of the team doing something. Just want to clarify that a rug is different. But do you plan to do this across chain? And then
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to leave the question at that too, because the last part I don't understand very well. Excellent. Okay.
I think he meant like he needs to hold at least some certain percentage of the token to be able to use it in the future. We just put it on public, so it's like a strategy as well to let the people know how the bot works. Let the bot help them, And I think once we release the premium, it will be like scars for people who get used to using it, and they'll probably be required to acquire some tokens, and it would give us a boost on the chart at least. I'm expecting that.
I love that answer. Thank you for clarifying. All right. I think that's all we got, unless somebody in the VC has a burning question right now. Okay, well then to the team, if you guys have any closing comments, now is the time, and then I'm going to end the recording.
No, good. I mean, love you guys to invest if you haven't already. We won't let you down. We're going to keep developing this project until we make it perfect. This product will be perfect for you guys to use. And we will talk about it because, you know, the team, CC and the other, and HP, they're very smart. So even though they're saying it's not possible, let them think about it for a few days and maybe they can come up with something, you know, that could be as close to good for launching. Because you're right. When I was launching this token, I think I was launching for something like 5 hours. And then people are calling me a farmer, but I'm like, I don't want to get botted. It's like so many bots.
It's truly one of the more difficult things you can. It's so
you know,
hard.
It's you know, when someone's buying with 16 bots, they don't have good intentions.
No,
they just don't.
They absolutely do not. And
I mean, I'm sorry.
It's gotten worse in the bear market, in my opinion, and it's one of the things that gives crypto such a bad name. Like, I forget how uneducated I was when I got into this space, and like I'll have someone DM me. So like one of the dangers of owning a call channel, right, is if I call with multiple callers, even if we don't post the contract, if a botter is the fastest to get in on that call, they create most of the pump and they dump on the guys who buy after. And I'll have someone DM me like, man, this dev just rugged this. And that's why I was so particular about the verbiage previous to that on the previous question, because no, the dev didn't do anything. A botter, a man with the ability to purchase multiple wallets simultaneously, came in and just took the money. And it's difficult. We were tracing. I mean, that's the multi-wallet bot, right? What kills me are front runners on zero tax coins. New developers and our new investors don't really understand their slippage has to be exactly at what the taxes are at, or they'll get front run. And I tracked one of the wallets down. I'm not exaggerating. 100%. I validated it with like 8 guys. There was $2.3 billion.
Billion or million?
B with a B. I mean,
this nuts.
Vlad and I were talking about this actually. Vlad's on here. Like, obviously,
this guy's nuts.
It wasn't one person. I mean, this is.
I think it's a whole. Is it like it's a whole syndicate?
It's an institution, obviously, some sort of institution. But like, that's insane. I mean, just the
insane.
amount. That's dangerous. So any battle with bots that we can fight and the channel can help out, I'm happy to be a part of it. Guys,
you know, a one bot is fine. You know, it is what it is. You've got to compete with other people. I get it. But 10, 12, 16, you know?
Yeah.
That's just, it's just too much.
I don't know if anyone here was around. It was probably last year. There was a coin called Shark. And I won't say his name because I think he's kind of cleaned up his act. But there was this one botter who was very good at what he did. And
starts with W?
I'm sorry?
Start with the W?
It does not. It starts,
I'm talking about.
Starts with.
Okay.
And this was the Kosi Street Bets gang. Like at the time, they were probably the largest group of influencers in the space, and they legitimately. I mean, I want to say the guy pulled $800,000 out of that launch. 99 wallets, all maxed out. Milliseconds after the chart was just, I mean, a disaster. Like, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous space. It's good to have people trying to protect it. All right.
It's got worse.
It has in the bear market. It really has, Raf. Really.
It's in the last. I think in the last 6 months. I remember about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think I got destroyed. Everything I put into for like 3 days in a row. I think I was like 4 beans in 3 days on degens. Like, really? You know, like a 0.2 or 0.1. It was like 4 beans. I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and everyone was from a bot thing. So when Jake came up with this idea, I was like, man, you're brilliant. You know, and he kept it all to himself all this time.
Jake, we're happy you wrote the code.
I'm just sick of like, seeing like devs really trying hard, and then like those, you just see a multi come out and like they just can't recover the chart.
Guys, wait, let me end the recording. Hold up. I don't want to say this on the recording.